Do you feel that what we're seeing now with a broadly token AI is the next wave?
Yes, it is. It will be the next wave.
Interesting. My view and opinion's the same. I've already stated it on this podcast, but I'm like, I have seen enough now where I'm convinced this is like an internet level inflection point.
It totally is. I was hopeful that it would have been crypto with blockchain technology and things. I think that the interesting thing that I struggled with was seeing the utility change or the utility implementation of blockchain technology versus how much has already been innovated with like ChatGPT that came out like a very short period of time ago. And I'm like, it has to be the next thing. So in answer, yes.
Yes, we got I found this really interesting that in a lot of people's minds, what occurs when they see something like this is they play out the Terminator endgame.
I know, I love it.
Yeah, so they go from like they've seen something that it can occasionally get something right in a chat conversation, because that's where it's at, right? It's not perfect right now. It sometimes does something that's awesome. I'm at about a half strike rate. Sometimes it does what I want, and half the time it doesn't give me anything near close to what I think it will do. But the point being is they look at this and just go, well, like all the jobs are gone, humanity's going to be lost. Like, I can't believe this. You know, like they really play out an end of days thing that isn't in a positive light.
Totally.
But do you remember when people were saying the same thing about the internet?
Completely. It was like all these jobs are going to disappear. Oh, I still remember when it was like the office is going to become paperless, and then they created more paper.
I think they're using more paper than ever now.
They totally do. Like, how many people do you know that read books are like, man, I'd prefer the physical book than Kindle? Like, it's like, sure, it's a utility, but it's like, yeah, it doesn't change as much as people think it really will.
Well, that's where I feel we're going to see the same things.
Totally.
So if we play this out in Charlie's theory here, what I feel has just happened is like the internet's gone mainstream again, to use an analogy.
Totally.
Right? The people who win, or the businesses that win in a big way, are the ones that lean into these tools and use them as an enhancement, which I think is a really interesting idea. And I know we've got some really cool examples of this as we dig deeper into it. So the idea being, and I love this to use an analogy within an analogy, this could potentially become like an Iron Man suit. This is where theoretically, if you're any form of company, you could be enhancing your employees or doing things in a way which you actually, from a productivity gain, benefiting immensely.
Totally.
You're going to be able to do more with less, just like what happened with the internet.
Totally.
And have you ever seen in more recent times some of the videos of like the Amazon automated factories?
Yeah.
Once upon a time, like every factory was full of people, whether it was a manager, a stock counter, people physically moving goods, and like that's all changed.
But do you know, so here you go, I was at university and I worked at, I think it was Woolworths Hume Distribution Center, and I was like literally like you'd get a Kleenex truck, Coke truck, etc. And what it would do is it would put all the pellets of food and it would put it up into racking, and one person's job, or like tens of people, would have to pull apart that. It would go into a sorting machine, and then the other group of people would have to put them on pellets for Woolworths stores, right? And there was a massive strike that would happen every year about how much Woolworths would continue to automate these things. And I'm sitting there like in my mastering entrepreneurship university degree. I'm like, guys, like this is inevitable. How can you not see this coming? But I'm like, I'm just here as a casual worker. And it was just always this thing where it was like a knee-jerk reaction was like, no, you can't change this. This is how it has to be. And it's like, well, no, you can't stop innovation. And what happens? It's like, well, no, sorry, here's some automation. No, sorry, here's some automation. And so it's going to be the same thing with this, is everyone's going to have a knee-jerk reaction of like, no, you can't do this thing. And I don't want to deal with AI. And you know what? Because we don't know what it's going to change. And then what's going to happen is it's going to creep in on this one thing, this second thing. And then we go, I can't see a world without it, Charlie. Like, can you see a world without the internet?
Can I use some more examples of this though?
Let's do it.
Have you been to the supermarket lately?
Yes.
You see all the checkout chicks, right?
Minimal.
Interesting. So automation, you know, like another thing that's kind of occurred there, which I feel is a really interesting one.
Have you seen supermarkets with the electric pricing now. Have you seen those?
I haven't seen this
Yeah,
yet.
so on the shelves where it's got like little pricing and stuff. Yeah, on like these new concept stores, they've got electric pricing where they can change it and then put the discounts on it. So someone doesn't need to go out and like stick the things,
There you go.
but you can adapt the pricing to it. But there's all these little things that come through.
I think a lot of times we forget how good the tools of online have become these days as well, right? Even tools we use like ActiveCampaign have to a degree replaced like mail delivery.
Totally.
So more than anything, I'm wanting to shape this idea is that AI and what's coming in front of us now is just another technology that stands to improve things.
Yep.
If you look retrospectively or backwards, this has been happening since forever. Like once upon a time, electricity was the technology that was coming in to change things.
And everybody's knee-jerk reaction was, it's going to kill someone. Like, this is not, it's got no utility. It's not going to improve. And then when people go, oh my gosh, you can have light at night?
Can you imagine being the guy that's in there like, no, I can't see this electricity thing taken off?
Totally. But there are all those people. And then people's knee-jerk reaction is dangerous. And then what happens is there's one little thing it gets brought in on, and everyone's like, how did we ever live without this before, Charlie? And that's the thing. It's just always, what is that first implementation? And then like, oh my gosh. And society always has to be ready for it as well. And I think society is ready for AI, unlike Google Glasses 5 years ago.
Hey, fellow business owner. If this topic and value-packed short video has resonated with you at all, and you want to dive deeper into creating wealth inside and outside your business, check out the full episode by clicking the link on your screen or in the description right now.